Dr. Terry Lyles is a psychologist who coaches patients through stress and crisis management. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. You're also the author of Performance Under Pressure, and that's really poignant in this situation. I'm curious if you find these results and these statements surprising.
No, not really, because there's a difference between being trained to do something and then go operational, because everything gets faster, it changes. And those that have been in the theater of war know exactly what I'm talking about, because you know what to expect. And it's part of the performance under pressure training methodology that all of us are performing. You're performing right now. I'm performing right now. We're doing what we do live, real time. You could make mistakes. People get pressure. But when internal and external pressure get combined together, that becomes a problem. So we have to keep that pressure outside of our internal capacities to stay calm.
But does it also mean that we treat mental health differently? So, for example, do we treat mental health the same way that we treat, let's say, our physical health? I mean, if I'm not feeling well, if I have a cold, I stay home from work.
Yes, we definitely do. And there's still a disconnect. And everything I teach about is mind-body connection. And as you just astutely mentioned, it's very easy to say, mentally, I just have to push through this. Physically, I feel okay, I'm going to go do it anyway. But, the mental health side, separate and apart from the physical side, really doesn't exist, because they co-act together. The mind, the body, and the mind. And what connects those two are our emotions. So keeping our emotions in check, this is what I train IndyCar, NASCAR drivers to do, fighter pilots for the Air Force. It's all this piece of how do I stay calm under pressure so that I can perform under pressure and not leak externally, but keep my pressure externalized. That inside, I'm calm, relaxed, and I'm going to do what I've been trained to do.
So that being said, and you mentioned some good examples there, but I'm curious about military members. They have these core values that they have to live up to that maybe, I don't have those same pressures.
Mm-hmm. That's true, and those core values are ingrained in them through training, and that's why the training is so important in the military world, the military ops field, because that conditioning is a lot like raising a child. It's a psychological scripting. So we train our children how to believe and how to think within most reasons, because we tell them that's the way it's going to be, and they need to, believe us, and they believe us, and there's a core. That core belief is what keeps them safe and alive. So it is another level. I do a lot of debriefing with individuals coming back with post-traumatic stress who's gone through this. So there is methodology with it, but the preparation to it is you have to believe in your chain of command, you have to believe in your training, and you go out and execute. You feel the fear, and you do it anyway, and you allow your training to rule the day.
There was a study done back in 2004. It said nearly 1 in 4 active duty members show signs of a mental health condition. Are there resources available to military personnel?
There are, and part of our organization is reaching out. We work through the VA. We work with private organizations to help these individuals. People can go right to the website. It's just my name, terrylyles.com. There's free resources there. There's connections there. I've been committed to the military service for 25 years, and there are services out there. The hard part is that a lot of our military operational people that come back don't realize that there's extra services out there available for them. So if there's a delay in the VA, as an example, to get treatment, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, they get delayed, but there's other optional issues that we deal with on a daily basis that we reach out to them and support them with.
Yeah, there was one example, and it was in a separate article, and it was in reference to military members in the UK, and it said 60 vets a day seeking help for mental health issues. So perhaps there's more than we know of, and especially with the pressures in military now.
No question. I mean, there's so many pressures that are out there. Everyday world, we go to work, we come home, we have traffic jams, we deal with road rage. Military operationally, I mean, one of these individuals on one of these destroyers or carriers that's going through the straits there of Hormuz, the things that are going on in the world right now, the threat level changes. And when that happens, cortisol secretes from our brain into our blood system, our fight-flight response enacts, and that's where it gets real time. And that's where the training becomes so vitally important to be able to perform under pressure. That's what I write about and share with performers. There's one thing enabled to say, I'm good at what I do, but can you do it repeatedly under pressure, on demand, and be at your very best? And unfortunately for them, it's life and death.
Oh, yeah. All right, Dr. Terry Lyles, thank you so much. Just like you mentioned, you're the author of Performance Under Pressure, some very useful tools out there if we have folks at home who need help. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.